Hello everyone, this is Gaming on the Move and I'm back. In today's video I'm going to talk about my top 15 most wanted characters for Marvel Strike Force. Marvel is such a huge IP, so I think there's so many characters that can be added to this game. I'm just going to go over my top 15. The list is not in any order, just lots of the characters I would like to see added to this game. So for my first pick, I'd like to see Odin. I think it'd be great to have him as a legendary character. My idea would be that he replaces Thor on the Asgardian team, and then Thor could go to the Wave 1 Avengers. My next pick would be Gambit. He's most likely come to this game, but I do really like him as a character. I think he'd be great as an X-Men Blaster character. I think it'd be awesome if his ultimate ability would throw a whole bunch of cards to all enemies, and each card would have a various random special attack associated with each card, but each card would always be random every time you used it. So maybe one removes 100% turn meter, or another does like 500% extra damage, or this one does defense down, this one does offense down. And it would always be changing, but overall, the ultimate would always be a very powerful move to use. My next character I'd like to see would be Archangel. He'd always be potentially an X-Men character. I think it'd be really cool to have possibly two versions of him, one with the steel wings and one with the feather wings, and then maybe have different classes for each character. One maybe a protector or support, and the other being a blaster or brawler. For the blaster version, obviously he'd shoot feathers at the enemies. I'm thinking that would be best to have as the metal one, and then the other one would use his wings as a protector for the protector class, and would use taunt and protect himself. Maybe he receives taunt and is invincible for a turn, so you have to hit him and you can't do any damage to him. I think that would be a cool mechanic to add to Archangel. The next character would be Quicksilver. I think this is would be Iceman. I think that he'd be a really cool X-Men support character. I think it'd be great to use his ice abilities to kind of fly around each battle, and he would stun and slow the characters with his ice attacks, as well as increase his team's speed by skating on the ice. The next character would be Quicksilver, as I mentioned earlier. I think it'd be cool to have him as an X-Men brawler character, zipping around the arena, and then he could attack multiple characters, maybe multiple times, so you have 3 attacks here, or kind of bounce around the arena just punching and kicking butt. The next character I'd like to see would be Apocalypse. I think he'd be great as a mutant villain character, or maybe even an X-Factor character. Make a new team of him. I think he would just be... I couldn't think of too many great ideas, just kind of a general brawler with some great base stats, kind of like a empowered Thanos kind of level, just super strong, super deadly, super scary. The next character would be Nightcrawler. I think he's such a cool character. I think he'd be a great X-Men support character. I'd want to use his teleporting ability in the game somehow, and I think it would be pretty cool if he maybe had it linked to a passive where he had a percent chance to just make an ally dodge an attack. So someone attacks an ally, he appears behind the ally, disappears, and the attack goes, and then he reappears and makes them dodge the attack, and it's just always a passive, always helping random characters dodge. It could be linked to the X-Men characters only, but he could just be a general plug-and-play cool character as well. The next choice I have is leaving the X-Men. I did have quite a few X-Men there. So we're going to jump into Scorpion. I think he'd be a really cool character. I think he'd be great as a Sinister Six brawler. He could potentially stab characters with his tail, and then maybe leave a poison effect similar to Bleed, which does kind of damage over time. He could also swipe his tail and do an AoE, and maybe does Bleed as well. The next character I think would be really cool would be Hob Goblin. I think he's a really cool character. I like the color palette he has and just kind of what he does, especially from the 90s cartoon. So I think he'd be great as a Sinister Six blaster. He could toss pumpkin bombs at the opponents and blow them up. And then I think he'd be great if he didn't have his glider, but then for his ultimate, he would call in his glider and come in and swoop down and do a big AoE, kind of similar to Falcon. The next character I'd like to see added would be Kraven the Hunter. Again, he'd be another Sinister Six character. I think he'd be cool if he was a protector. He would have like a strong taunt at the start of the battle with a permanent counter, so he's always countering. And I think it'd be cool if his counter had bleeds, because kind of like a lion attacking. And then maybe once he drops below a certain amount of health, he automatically loses taunt and dodge, and gains stealth to heal back up. I think that would be a pretty cool character. Another character I would like to see is Morbius. I liked him in the 90s cartoon series, so I think he'd be a pretty cool character to add. I think he may be more Morbius movie comes out. But I think it'd be cool to have him as a supernatural or a Spider-Verse support character. I think he'd just have a lot of drains and bleeds and team heals, trying to kind of generally supporting the characters like that, kind of slowing them down with the bleeds and helping his own team up with lots of drains. The next character I would also like to see would be Lizard. I think he'd be a Sinister Six brawler. He's just a cool character. He's in lots of the cool mediums of Spider-Man. I think he would have some awesome, powerful attacks that he would slash and bite and swipe his tail. And I think it'd be pretty cool to have him. And the final character in kind of the Spider-Verse team I'd want to be seen added is Spider-Gwen. I think she's just a cool character I really liked her in the Into the Spider-Verse movie. I think she'd be cool as a Spider-Verse support character. I think it'd be awesome if she had a mass D spell, kind of similar to Anti-Venom, but even better. Maybe closer to like a Jessica Jones, where you just dispel all your team's debuffs. I think it'd be cool to have her have a passive that's similar to Symbiote Spider-Man, but only when he's not present. So you couldn't add her in and really get too many benefits into the Symbiote team, but then you add her with the rest of the Spider-Verse team to try and make another team with maybe Miles and Peter Parker. And I think that'd be pretty cool for Spider-Gwen. The second last character on the list would be Abomination. I think he's a really cool character. I don't really have a team for him. I think he would just be a general bio-villain character made as a good plug-and-play character. I think it'd be cool to have him have a strong immediate taunt to kind of put into any team right away to protect some of those weaker characters. But then after that, he'd have a huge attack increase to follow up that taunt. And then can do damage as well. So you can kind of plug and play as well. Maybe give some ability energy on basic or something. But I think he's a real cool character, and I think it'd be cool if they added him. And finally, the last character on my list is Silver Surfer. I think he's just such a cool character. He looks so awesome. I didn't even mind the movie he was in with Fantastic Four just because I liked the Silver Surfer that much. So I think it'd be cool to add him to the Fantastic Four as a brawler character. You could have lots of various abilities, but I kind of thought he'd increase allies' speed because he can fly so fast and stuff would be kind of in line with that. So that's kind of the top 15 characters I would like to see in this game. I know there's huge amounts of other characters that could be added, so let me know if you'd like to see any others in the comments below. And thanks for watching, and have a great day.